One time during the period where I was an administrator, my facility was going through accreditation, and my boss, who was new at his job, wanted all my staff to come in a half an hour early before their shift and organize some things. Well, who wants to do that? I got them to do it for a week, but after that, they didn't want it anymore, and I don't blame them. It really wasn't that important. So I told him that they had enough, and then he threatened me.
First, he threatened to demote me.
And then a week later, he threatened to have me replaced. He said, well, I guess I'll just bring in somebody who can get the staff to come in a half an hour early. And nobody else could. They didn't want to. They wouldn't even have done it for that week, except that they liked me. At first, I was a little upset that he was threatening to demote me and to replace me. And then I realized that he couldn't do that. So also, I knew that nobody else would be able to get the staff to come in early. They didn't have to, and nobody would. They weren't obligated to, they didn't want to, and they wouldn't. And anyway, what he wanted them to do wasn't so important. So I started throwing it in his face all the time. Like he'd say, is anyone coming in early this week? And I said, no. And I told you I couldn't do this, so maybe you're just going to have to bring in that magic fairy you said that was going to be able to do it. Or, I understand that I'll be out of a job if I don't, but I can't, so you'll just have to fire me. Then finally, one day he just says, would you just shut up about that already? Why do you keep bringing it up? And I said, you're the one who brought it up. Then he finally admitted that he had just said it in a moment of anger. No apology, though. Just a forced admission, but it still felt good. He also had no sense of humor. Let's take gigantic roaches, for example. Of course, it's horrible that we had gigantic roaches. Nobody's happy about that, and nobody wants to live like that. Nobody wants to bring their food bag into work and possibly take one of them home. But you can still laugh about gigantic roaches. I mean, come on, gigantic roaches are funny. Just because there's real roaches, it's still fun to pretend that one of them is your trained pet that you can wear and walk around with, or that you caught one and had it taxidermied into jewelry. Some people just do not want to laugh. Some people just want to live a miserable life. Come on, man, lighten up, laugh. Things are funny. You either gotta laugh or you gotta cry.